Hello everybody, this is Gregory with how I lost over 100 pounds and have kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitation in your weight loss and maintenance. Today we're going to talk about the body positive movement, its origin, and its overall effect, and I would tell you its overall effect is not good for your weight loss journey. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, naturopathicearth.com, which has hundreds of articles and recipes. Check out my 2 books. And if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. Now, the body positive movement, I'm not a big fan of, clearly. Because why? The body positive movement essentially tells obese people that it's okay to be obese. That's what it's saying. And the counter argument, if you were to talk to one of these typically it's going to be overweight, far to the left, archetypes, would tell you, insulting fat people is not good for their self-esteem. Shaming them is not good for their self-esteem. I would agree with that. I went through that when I was a kid and as an adolescent. I would totally agree. No one wants to be ridiculed and name-called. But in true charity, in true Christian charity, when we love somebody, we tell them things that maybe they don't want to hear, but in the overall long run is something that's better for their overall health. And yes, I am not condoning name calling and derision of obese people. But that being said, if you look at the objective stats will say obese people have a shorter life expectancy. So then why would we tell obese people to stay obese if it's shortening their life expectancy? We wouldn't say that to smokers. We tell most smokers you need to stop smoking. Now, of course, they're so hooked on nicotine, they typically can't smoke. Same for drug addicts. Same for people that are engaged in self-destructive behavior. We would tell them, the studies show that you're shortening your life expectancy, stop doing this. So why would being obese be different? No, I think a lot of it is the body positive movement's origin is largely from fat people, right? Fat people who can't lose weight. And they'll spin the narrative to make it sound like what I am saying is hate speech toward fat people. That it's not hate speech. They see it as, well, we can't lose the weight, so we just need to be accepting of fat people, and it's prejudicial and discriminatory to not support fat people in their fat glory. And I get how they can spin that yarn because it makes them feel better because they can't lose the weight. And if you tell them, well, actually you're shortening your life expectancy, shut up! They're not going to take that well, but they know it's true. And there is an industry behind body positive, for sure. I mean, look at companies like Victoria's Secrets. Victoria's Secrets can't even sell their lingerie like they used to because Americans are so overweight now that if you go to a Vicky's Secrets, you'll see they'll have plus size lingerie models out there. And part of it is, look, let's be real. Men are not attractive to overweight women as a whole. There are men who like the chubbies, but as a whole, they're not. But if we say that, that's hate speech. Just like if women are honest, they'd be like, we like rich men. That's hypergamy, right? They say that. They're kind of shamed for that, but not really. They'll be like, yeah, we all know that. But if a man says, you know what, I like women who are actually in shape and I want to marry a woman who actually has good, healthy habits because she'll live longer, shut up! That's hate speech. So you look at companies like Victoria's Secrets, they're looking at the bottom line, right? Because they have to stay in business, they have to be profitable. They're like, okay, we can keep selling our plus size, we can keep selling our regular lingerie, but there's less women that can fit into them, or we can just get into this movement and sell lingerie that actually fits women and then get behind the movement and say we're body positive, even though they know deep down that men are not attracted to overweight women. Look, women, I know you don't want to hear this, but let's be real. When I was a fat teenager, I wished that women would look at me, but then I realized that all my crushes were regularly weighted women, so how can I get mad at women for not looking at me? And I doubt you're looking at fat men every day. I doubt your celebrity crushes are fat men. They're mostly going to be the Chris Hemsworths, the Chris Evans types. So let's be real. Let's be real here. You can see, so there's like a industry behind that, and it's vociferous. And if you come out against body positive, you can get crucified for this. But ultimately, you think like any of those women who are pushing body positive. Most of them are overweight, and they would all die to be regular weighted. It's kind of like the popular clique in high school. Everybody hates them, but deep down everybody wants to be them. And the body positive movement has had people it's gone out for. Look at Adele. Adele lost a lot of weight. I think most of you guys know the singer Adele. Look at Rebel Wilson. She lost a lot of weight recently. And they got fit shamed. A lot of Adele's supporters, I should say, really liked her because I think when she was overweight, they could relate to her. Oh, this woman, beautiful voice, but she's overweight. She's true. She's just like us, one of us cows. Then she loses the weight and they're like, that. Because when people succeed, it makes unsuccessful people have to look in the mirror. Whether it be like in your life, your best friend gets a new job or a new car or a new spouse, or they've lost weight and you haven't, it makes you look bad. So deep down, you kind of have that German principle of Schadenfreude, taking pleasure in other people's misery. You want them to fail because they're making you look bad because you're not succeeding. And see, your priorities are misprioritized. It should be, wow, these people are doing well. I'm happy for them. And it's going to motivate me to do better. Back when America was a meritocracy, we used to think like this all the time. So the body positive movement went after Adele and Rebel Wilson. It's not that shocking that Adele's last album honestly wasn't that good, but I think some of it was she alienated a certain segment of her population, her fan base, which are predominantly female. And if you look at the statistics, 70% of Americans are overweight. So probably a decent amount of her fan base, female fan base, were overweight females. So look, in closing, I want to be balanced here because if you have this solipsistic prism in your head, whatever you're hearing, and if you're from the radical left and support body positive, all you're going to hear is that I hate the body positive movement and I hate fat people, which I don't hate fat people. I want to be clear. I love fat people to the point where, same if you have a heroin addict in your family, you wouldn't be, you know what? Keep shooting up all the time. Yes, that's good. I love you. I love you so much. And you see people who are like this, right? They want to enable vice. I love you so much. The nice guy thing to do, the right thing to do is to keep it up, encourage that behavior. And then, of course, the heroin addict dies young. So how did you help that person? You're not. So no, we should not be shaming obese people. We should be trying to motivate them to get healthy because they do have a disordered relationship with food. Every overweight person on this planet has some sort of disordered relationship with food, and I would tell you it's almost all of it from childhood trauma. And maybe I have confirmation bias because my disordered relationship with food came from childhood trauma. But hey, this channel is about what's worked for me. So I'll talk about my personal experiences. But to truly help the obese, we don't want to tell them to keep eating poorly and have a sedentary lifestyle and to do self-destructive things. No, we want to encourage them and motivate them to love themselves, to fix the thing that's causing them to have a disordered relationship with food, to get to do the deep work, to get to the ultimate foundation of this problem and fix it, and they can have an ordered relationship with food, and then they'll have a healthier behavior, then they'll lose the weight, and then a lot of their self-esteem will improve and the confidence will improve and so forth. That's what you do. Telling them to stay fat and get even fatter is not Christian love, it's not atheist love, it's no love. You are not helping them. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you agree or disagree, hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.